Hi everybody, thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. It's Varouche and I am here on the Pick a Card channel to do a pick a card for you guys. If you're a member, you already know this format because for shorter videos, we're going to do two options. Sorry for those of you who love number 3, but this keeps it very simple and gives me an opportunity to give you two good readings, and hopefully one of them will resonate or will give you some insight. So I think I'm going to call this like the truth about this situation or something like that. But the point of this reading is to assess your current situation, whatever it is, and give you some insight about it. I have the Shining Light Tarot and then the Lihodziejewski Tarot, which is out of print. It's a Polish deck. So you can choose number 1 or number 2, and I'm also using this deck, which is a standard Rider-Waite deck, to give a general overview. Okay, so I hope you guys are doing well. Like on my main channel, if you guys are younger, 18 to 24 or 24 to 35, please make sure to comment and like in the description because you are underrepresented in my analytics. So your people of your age do not get to see my videos. So if you do like and comment, then that will help other people see your videos. That doesn't mean that I don't want older people to see the videos. It's just that older people don't have a problem receiving my videos. It's the younger people that don't get a chance to see them. Okay, so hopefully you've chosen by now, and we'll just get into number 1. I'll set number 2 to the side. I really don't like fancy editing for this because it's such a basic thing. Sorry, I don't know. Okay, and I'm fine. I'm not sick or anything. You guys know me. I get a little bit. I'm always by the ocean, so that produces reactions, but I can't live without it. Okay, so number 1, okay, first card, 8 of Swords. So these cards are going to tell us the general overview of a situation or the general kind of idea of what's going on. So we have the 8 of Swords. Okay, so then we have the King of Swords. There's a lack of clarity on what to do about a situation for sure. And then you have the Temperance card and the Knight of Cups. I feel as though somebody's trying to reach out. I do feel as though there's like a lack of clarity on how to approach a situation and what to do about a situation. But somebody's trying to reach out and somebody's trying to be kind and generous or reach out to try to do something about what's going on or what has happened. And then there's the 9 of Swords, and so somebody is really struggling with ideas of loyalty. I think it might be the querent, which means you, the person we're asking about, where you are really questioning whether or not people around you are loyal, whether people around you, in your family especially, are to be trusted. There's like a questioning that's going on regarding what the intentions of people around you are. But then we have the 10 of Cups. I think people around you are gonna respond and bring you light and joy into your life. Whatever's happened that's made you question things, I think is only temporary. And I think somebody is going to reach out to try to make you feel better, try to put you in a better situation, trying to find a good outcome, trying to find a positive response. It feels like it's a group of people in which the King of Swords and the King of Cups or the Knight of Cups are a part of. And it feels as though there is somebody acted, presumably the King of Swords, acted in a certain way, and because they're in a group, they don't know what to do about it. So he put his foot in his mouth, said something, but he's stuck in his ways, so he's not going to change that or acknowledge that. And so because it's like a group, nobody wants to go against another person from within that group. And so there's a problem. There's an eagle flying right in front of me, circling around. So I guess that's a sign of goodwill and good fortune. Unfortunately, where I'm living, there is a ton of eagles. that live here among many other birds and animals. And so on the daily, I have eagles flying around, especially in the mornings. Anyway, so to me, that's a sign of freedom. It really feels as though that this group of people, it's like, Uncle Joe said this again, like, like WTF, Uncle Joe, like, put his foot, what are we going to do about it? They know that it's hurting you. They know that it's holding you back. And I feel like that is unacceptable, and I don't think that they feel right about what Uncle Joe did, okay? So, but they also don't want to go against Uncle Joe just because they just don't want to go against him. Okay, so they just, it's Uncle Joe, the Funkle, yeah, World War II vet. No, I'm just kidding. One of those boomers. So yeah, so he's stuck in his ways, and he's not. It might be one of these. The person who is they're just stuck in a rut, and they say what they say. But I think whatever slight you've experienced in this situation, I do feel like somebody is going to be reaching out on behalf of that group to try to make it better. And I think it is going to make it better. Okay, so here are your cards. We have the Chariot card, which is the card of Cancer, overcoming. You might be dealing with a Cancer person. I feel as though this is representing a big pattern in your life with regard to like a situation that's been ongoing for some time. I do feel like there has been it's just an unanswered question that you have been contending with for a long time. And I feel like it's like the same thing over again, the same circumstances, the same qualities that you're dealing with as you have done before, the same problems, the same people, the same exposure to the same types of environment. And so whatever that set of circumstances has been redundant. It's gone over and over and over again in the same capacity. And I feel like you're closing the cycle on that. So maybe the pattern has been that people have let you down, and that you have felt somewhat alone or displaced from people that should be with you or on your side. But I feel like this is a very deep hurt that I'm seeing here. It feels like it's not only like it just happened, but something that's happened over and over and over again. And you just feel so brought down by the fact that, it keeps going on. It makes you question what kind of world you're living in, that kind of thing. So like you're always experiencing some facet of this, some part of this. And I think that these people know that the situation they're coming up as jerks. And I think that they're going to in some way try to mediate or improve that. And that will be the resolution for your pattern, whatever pattern you're living. Okay, so I'm going to do this a little diagonal because it's a big spread. Okay, and so we have the Hierophant. So there's some form of authority, maybe a Taurus person, but not necessarily so. A form of authority that is playing a part in this. It could be a law court, it can be a school administration, it can be something of authority like HR if you're in a business that is in some way mediating this, a government body. And I feel like the law is with you. The law is on your side. Or if it's not legal law, then the moral law is on your side. So you can rest assured. It feels like you've been victimized again, and very likely you have been. I don't feel like this situation is coming through with the same intentions as other similar situations that have hurt you in the past. That's why there's this give. Sometimes people do things that kind of mirror really bad situations, but they in themselves don't want a bad situation to happen. And so I feel like you're exposed to this right now. Like people have put their foot in their mouth. Maybe they've been selfish or hurt you in some way. But I do feel like they're not as bad as the other bad experiences you've had, and that's why they're going to seek a resolution. Then we have the Ace of Swords. Okay, good. So I feel like there's leeway. If you're dealing with something to do with the law, if you're dealing with something to do with rules that have to be followed, then I feel like there's going to be some kind of leeway that breaks through that allows you to find a resolution. Your outcome is very positive. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, and the Chariot card here really tells me that there is a major type of resolution to this situation. Then we have the Knight of Cups again. So this Knight of Cups is very important. Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. There could be a romantic element in this. So be prepared for that. For real. Someone who is bringing you a breakthrough, he's in the middle of this spread here at the top. So, you know, just like in the Lenormand, this is the core. So somebody's sticking up for you. Somebody has your back. Somebody's putting themselves out on the line to defend you. Somebody is coming to help you, trying to quietly mediate the situation from behind. And then we have the Four of Cups. Okay, so expect that there is going to be some kind of reaching out. They're going to reach out to you. Somebody's reaching out to someone else to offer something up. That's going to be the action that's taken. There's going to be some kind of offer. Something's going to be put out on the table. Something is going to be said, or kind of, there's going to be the people who have whatever conflict that's going on or contention between them. One person they're going to reach out and try to fix the situation. Okay, at the center we have the Seven of Wands. And I have a feeling that you might at first feel defensive, and rightfully so. Possibly you might feel defensive. There's also a feeling like what you're receiving is less than what you deserve. So you might feel like it's just peanuts, but there's more behind that. So whatever you're being offered, more will follow. It will be bigger than you thought. It's a better outcome than you're imagining. I think that maybe it's possible that you have underestimated these people, or you have thought that they were kind of more shallow or maybe more narcissistic than they actually are. So I feel like maybe your first response will be to defend and to push away just to protect yourself. But hopefully that's going to resolve into understanding. So Five of Swords, you've been offended by this situation. I can feel it and I can sense it. I don't blame you. I feel like you have a rightful place to be offended and hurt because of the way you've been treated, maybe by Uncle Joe over here, whoever else. But I feel like, you feel rightfully offended. You want to take that, it's a fine line you don't want to cross, right? Like, you want to be offended up to a certain degree and then just let it go after that. So be offended up to a point and then just peace out and let it go. Then you have the Two of Wands. I think that they have seen something by their experience with you. I think that they're beginning the process of self-understanding. Maybe it's like the bully who realizes that they're hanging out with the bullies and they don't want to be a bully anymore. And they're like, wow, that's who I'm becoming. Like, what's his name in Back to the Future? Like that Biff. I'm becoming like Biff. And so they're coming into self-realization that they want a better life, that they want to do better. I do sense that it's saying, give it time to work out. Let them, that's what it seems like. It's small at first and it's going to become bigger, the intention towards you, because I think that they have to process and understand what's going on. Then we have the Fool. Okay. And so I think you're hoping for a fresh start and a real new beginning. And I feel like you want to cut ties with the past and really have a good start at things. And I feel like that is your intention, and I'm guessing that's their intention as well. That they don't want, maybe they've done bad things, but they don't want bad things to happen, if that makes sense. So, and then we have Wheel of Fortune. Okay, great. So the outcome is very positive in that it's going to become bigger and bigger. This is Jupiter. It's going to become bigger and bigger, and the outcome will be better than you intentionally think. So allow I think the main thing that I'm picking up from this is don't overreact. Just silently sit there and listen to what is being offered, and then wait and see how it develops as they grow into their understanding of what they did wrong or how they can do better. Okay? So I hope that helped number 1. And now I'm going to jump into number 2 and do their reading. So hi, number 2, welcome. So we'll start first with our first spread. It's kind of a first spread or focus on the reading. So you have the Page of Cups, okay, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, secondary transits in Earth, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. When I do that, I don't mean necessarily those signs, but for some of you that will be a point of awareness. Then we have the Five of Cups. Okay, so young emotions have a propensity to be heartbroken. So like puppy love, right? We fall into love really deep, and then the first heartbreak is just a nightmare, right? And so I feel like there's new emotions about a situation that do have a chance of being hurt or being like put off, and it's very volatile because it's fresh and it's young. And then we have the World card, and I think that somebody's going to take whatever's going on and branch out and go in different directions. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is our core card. Somebody is very strong in their energy. Somebody is very strong in their energy. Somebody is very strong in who they are at this time. They have achieved a lot. They're strong. They're just very successful. They have all the resources they need. I really believe that, like, I get a lot of clients. I do readings. And one thing I notice is that women who are very self-sufficient oftentimes have a good job, that kind of thing, well educated, they have a hard time with relationships because they are this kind of independent. And what happens is I think they really are more dismissive towards potential love. So they're more willing to dismiss love that's not right for them. And so they end up single, you know, and especially I have a lot of clients in New York, and women who are in their 30s or older. It's just, I have so many clients from New York who are over 30 women who are single and are incredibly professional, like stand-up women. And that's kind of the vibe, you know? And so you have this World and Nine of Pentacles. It's like pettiness and small behaviors don't really entice you. And there's like, it's a double-edged sword. You have the security, you have the financial stability, but that makes you lack vulnerability that pushes you into relationships. Relationships are messy. I don't think you should start a relationship in bad terms, but you know, they're never perfect. It's never like a shining knight on a horse. There's, you know, the knight always has like, I don't know, like IBS or like some other problem. Maybe he's balding a little bit, you know? But whatever it is, I feel like it's a double-edged sword that we're looking at here. Like your strength becomes a point through which you intimidate, and your strength becomes a point through which you're maybe more cautious with who you enter into rapport with, which probably leaves you more isolated, whereas other people are more willing to take the good with the bad because of their situations. Queen of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, and then we have the Two of Pentacles. It really feels like somebody's picking up and going in a different direction. In this situation, I do feel it has to do with petty behavior, just like very, very lowly, petty little behavior. We have the Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Somebody's turned their back on someone else because of petty behavior, like petty, little, pathetic, insignificant behavior, and they have gathered their things and said, I can do better, which is a great thing to do. But I feel like they have a predisposition to pick up and go. That's why I was picking up on, you know, the clients in New York and other places, professional clients that I have. There is this kind of get up and go, move forward, pick up the pieces, move on, and so forth. And I feel like you or whoever this is about will speak to someone who in some way calms them down, who sort of points out to the fact that they have to become a little bit vulnerable in order to make a relationship work. You can't have expectations of perfection and expect to have many relationships. It just doesn't happen. The world's not perfect, people are not perfect, and so forth. The Queen of Swords, her shadow side or her shortcoming, I would be to, in some way, really, when you have crystal clear vision of the world and things, the shortcoming of that is that you don't miss a beat, you know? And sometimes missing a beat a little bit helps the situation. It's like beer goggles, right? Like, so when you have a few beers, everything is a little bit more copacetic, and you get by okay in an evening, provided you don't make bad choices. So I don't drink, and I don't promote doing that, but it's kind of the likeness. Sometimes that crystal clear vision is not as good for us. Sometimes we don't have to be so perfect. Sometimes we can be a little bit complacent, okay? And the Queen of Swords is never complacent, or very rarely so. She's nope, cutting out the BS. And so she keeps on picking up the pieces and starting off from square one. Okay, so we have the Sun. This is a Polish deck, so you'll see the words in a different language. It's the Sun. And so this is an out-of-print deck by Lichodziejewski, Robert. So it's a beautiful deck, one of my favorite decks. Okay, so whatever's going on is for the better. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. I'm a Virgo, so I always analyze and see what's going on. And then we have the Ace of Wands. I do feel like this person that we're talking about has opportunities that are coming to them from the world. And it's hard to stay together when you're about to start college, right? Because the opportunities of the university or wherever you're going, the college, are so enticing that if there is a hiccup between you and someone else, especially if it's petty or trivial or something, especially if it's one of those things, then it's so easy to say, well, I'm about to meet a bunch of hot dudes at university, and you know, my boyfriend from the town I grew up in is just not going to cut it. So it's kind of like that, the straw that broke the camel's back. And then we have the Three of Cups. You're going to have to deal with celebrations. So if this has to do with your boyfriend taking a look at someone else, looking, not touching, then and you're worried about those kinds of environments where they're out with friends and socializing and whatnot, I think that that's going to be a mainstay, and it's going to be tough. Maybe this is a girl who hit on your boyfriend, or maybe this is a guy who hit on your girl. But I feel like, or a girl that hit on your girl, whatever, right? But I feel like there is pettiness, like a basic childlike behavior has caused all of these consequences, and your reaction I feel is probably right, or whoever reaction that is cutting the BS out is probably right. But I feel like there's a Queen of Cups that's going to slow the process down and make you rethink the situation. The big hurdle I feel is that you're going to have to accept, like, if he's working, let's say that he's a soccer player for a local soccer team, right, professionally, then he is going to be around guys and he's going to be around girls, or if he's a musician, that's just a part of his job or a part of his scene. So you're going to have to deal with the fact, or if his friends are like gross and they say gross things or want to go to a strip club all the time, that's a part of the structure of things that you're going to have to deal with. Unfortunately, you're going to have to figure out a compromise with him or her, right? And then we have the Hierophant, which is the Taurus card. It's not necessarily regarding a Taurus. I do feel as though there are I don't know. I just feel like things are on your side. I do feel like things are working out for the better. I do feel like there's like the rules between the boys. Feels like the boys hanging out, but there's like a bigger. He has. I believe the person you're dealing with has rules and a moral agenda that is higher. So if they've acted inappropriately or in like a basic childlike way, they do have a better moral structure. They do believe more important things. They're not basic. We have the Knight of Wands. I do feel like whoever you're dealing with has an air of immaturity, and I feel like they have a propensity of someone who either gasses them up and gets them to come and go, or they have a flight complex. So they do have an avoidance tactic that they perpetuate in their life if something's not going their way. So they will dip out if things get too heated. And I feel like that's damaging their life, but in their situation with you, I feel like I feel like they are in their situation with you, they are, how do I say it? They are taking that kind of action that they always do with everyone else, and it's affecting your situation with them. At the center, we have the Tower. I think you called BS on something, but remember, we have the Sun here, so it's not negative. I feel like it's never really negative, but I think you've really pulled the trigger on something and found yourself like out of a situation. And I pulled way too many cards. Holy moly, look at this. You guys get so much. Okay, and then you have the Knight of Pentacles. We'll do them over here as bonus cards. So Knight of Pentacles, you've chosen a certain path. You said no to BS, and you decided on concrete things. Like, if you're going to be childish and petty, then I'm going to go do me because I don't have time for this games, you know? And I think that this person needs to, whoever you're dealing with has to confront what they are doing or how they are being. So this Eight of Swords is really about them. You know, it's when you call someone out on their BS, and it's up to them to decide if they're going to grow up or not. So we'll see. I think I have extra cards, so I'll tell you guys if they do. And then we have the Lovers. I think that they really want a relationship with you, and I feel like you want a relationship with them, but like they would be great, but I do feel like what's motivating them is that they know they're screwing up. It's challenging them on who they are and calling them out to be a better person. And then we have the Two of Wands. There is an air of like waiting, like, are they going to make up their mind? Are they going to figure things out? That's up to you to decide. I think you're more than ever ready to walk away from the situation. I do feel like you have better things on your horizon that you're thinking about. But a part of you is still waiting. A part of you is still hoping that this situation will come out. So we have 5 cards over here. Okay, let's do another spread since it's here. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Okay, so I'll show you guys. Okay, so we have 7 of Swords. This person has a propensity to run away from the situation, and that's probably non-committal, running away from things in their life. And that has to do with their inability to change, or a lack of willingness to change and make changes in their life. So they're kind of in their feelings, refusing to fix things. It probably has to do with this also for them. Like, they have enough in their life to not change. They have in their life enough resources, money, whatever, to not change. So they're not, but in the long term, that hurts them. You know, it's like something's enabling them to continue. And so the incentives to change have been few and farther between for their behavior. And so they've continued to be like a screw boy. You know, you're dealing with almost someone like that. I wouldn't quite call them a screw boy, or, you know, the other word for it, but I do feel like you're dealing with someone who gets by on being slick, someone who gets by on being smart, someone who gets by on being clever. And that cleverness, although it's a good way to protect yourself, it's also doing them in because they're missing things in their life by being clever, by outsmarting situations. And okay, so I think that they're coming to terms with the fact that they're really alone. And that's why a lot of people end up in relationships, is they face the fact that they can be alone for a long time and they're like, no bueno, I don't want it. So I think this person has gotten by with a high degree of comfort in their life, and maybe enough friends or enough people around. But I think as time has gone on, they've realized that they're much more alone than they can't patch it up anymore, you know? And I think that that's scaring them and saying, like, who are the people in my life that made an impact? Who are the people in my life that, you know, I need to know about, or who am I missing? Like, what am I screwing up? And I think that that realization that they're really alone is motivating them to do better. But I'm not sure how ready they are to face the BS. Let's see a little bit more. Four of Swords. Okay, so a quiet time in their life has happened, and that's probably, I do feel like you're dealing with someone who goes out a lot. And so people who go out a lot, who lead a fast type of lifestyle, they really have, how do you say, they really have a predisposition to avoid problems because their life keeps moving, they keep busy. And so when life slows down, they're like, whoa, you know, I'm really becoming alone, or I really don't have that many friends because I keep on running away from closer situations. So I think this person's in a period of sort of being quiet. At the center is the Devil, which is you might be dealing with a Capricorn for some of you guys, but for some of you, you're dealing with just a person who isn't living 100%. Like, I really feel like this person lives by giving other people 20%, 30%. They're cordial, they're nice, but I don't feel like they let people in. And so it's up to you to decide whether or not this person's going to be able to do it or not. I think the Queen of Cups is going to try to convince you that you should be patient, and I think you should listen to her. In terms of this reading, it has you waiting at the end, waiting to see. So it's up to them to decide. We can't affect people's free will. And it seems like it's something that's haunting them. It seems like it's something that they have a close attachment to. It's like their survival strategy. Their survival strategy is to only show people 20% of themselves because they're protecting the 80%. But by doing that, they're keeping themselves really alone. And it's up to them to make that change. But as we know, those kinds of changes are big. So maybe they will choose you, but I feel like I feel like you should be very careful with, leveraging anything that you have going on for yourself. And it seems like you have a lot going on in your life that's positive for a maybe situation. You know, I would never wait for someone like that. Never say never, right? But I feel like you don't want to bet on not a sure thing, not with your life, not with your future. Okay, so you decide. It's a really gray area, but I think that's what's going on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a nice day, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real, especially if you're 18 to 24 or 25 to 35, so that the analytics shows you guys, people your age, the videos more. Thanks so much for watching, and have a nice day. Bye.